Hey, how you guys doing? Sorry, I've been a little like busy for the past couple of days. I've been having a good time with like real life and stuff. So just some um you know a little. It's just fun. But oh, hey, how you guys doing, Seema, Jack? Jack, I saw your chain mail or your dice bag. It looks fucking awesome. Just saying, it's awesome. Seema, how are you doing? Hopefully classes are all right. Everyone else who's lurking, I hope you're having a great day. Today is Scary Sunday, so I'm gonna read us some scary stories, and then maybe we can start doing some. We can start doing some Five Nights at Freddy's. I don't know if my heart can take it, but I will try my best. Maybe we can just read some scary stuff today, or do watch some scary stuff instead today. Guys, there's an ad coming in 1 minute, so sorry about that. But once we're done with the ad, we'll continue. I will have to BRB in a couple of minutes, maybe like, I don't know, 15 minutes or so. I have to BRB for like 5 minutes, and then I'll be back. But anyways, hopefully you guys are having a great week. Seema, Jack, did you guys do anything fun since last we talked? I think last we talked was like Wednesday, right? So it's been a whole 3 days since I haven't seen y'all. I saved a link for an Instagram post for today. Ooh, send it. Jack, send me the post. But yes. Let's see. Okay, yeah, send it right here. And then I'll read it right here. I think it's in the meantime, there is a story that I found from an SCP story that we can start reading. Well, in the meantime. Ooh. Hey, Condier. Hopefully you're doing well. Also, shout out to Rowan. He's he's going through a lot right now. Seems like he's struggling a bit. So, send him some love on Discord if you guys get the chance. I gotta, make sure everybody's having a good time. Make sure everyone's doing well. Let's see. Oh, well, here we go. Let's take a look at this Instagram post. Well, that's good that at least, things are getting better. Okay, here we go. Okay, this would be perfect for us to read on Instagram. But we have a 1 minute ad break in the meantime. So I guess while we're going through ads, I just want to say, again, thank you everyone for supporting me, joining. I really appreciate it. It means a lot. I'm gonna try to have like a more, stable schedule with y'all, even if it's just for an hour a day. But, I just want to be able to catch up and talk about anything. Like, talk about your day. That's basically it. But until then, yes, we're just gonna have to wait for the stupid ad to be over. Ugh. But yes. Okay. We got a couple of things lined up for today. It's gonna be, I'm gonna read some SCP stuff. Awesome. Link Jack Rose. I'm gonna be reading this very haunted series, which seems very interesting. I love reading things for you guys, and I'm all prepped up. I have a nice mug of water that is, gonna keep me all hydrated. And speaking of which, y'all should hydrate yourselves, get something to drink, and yes. Oh, I think the ad is over. No, the ad is over. Okay, why don't we hop right into this? There's no time to waste. Okay, I think this should be put above. Oh, here we go. Perfect. Okay. The ad is over. This is here. Okay. Alrighty, here we go. Let's read 9 weird and creepy facts about human body. Okay. A pregnant female corpse will build up enough gas to expel the fetus even after death. I've heard of coffin births. Wow, I can't speak today. Coffin births. First of all, that sounds really bad. I'm more curious to hear if would the baby still be alive? Like, is it possible for the baby to be still alive at that point? And I know this is a big this face. Like, is there a chance for the baby to still be alive? Because that would be terrifying. Yes. Okay, next one. You sneeze with enough force to kill you, but your body knows how to mitigate that. What? How could you sneeze with enough force to kill you? In what way? I've sneezed pretty hard before. I felt like I was gonna die, but I don't think it can actually kill you, right? Like, I sometimes don't even hold back. I let go. I go as hard as I can when I sneeze. You know? Just sometimes when I'm pissed. I don't know if you guys ever do that. But I don't know how it could kill you. That's ridiculous. All right. A dead body will often move as it's being cremated. Muscles contract as they cook. After all, sometimes this means a body will sit up in the crematory machine. Oh my goodness, that's disgusting. One second. Okay, hey, Dew on the Grass, I haven't seen you in so long. Guys, thank you all so much for coming for Scary Sunday. Today is going to be great. We're going to have a lot of things lined up. We're just kind of, we're just easing into the scariness today, but I think I'm going to do some Five Nights at Freddy's, really get a jump scare out of me today, even though I'm not looking forward to that. My poor heart, I don't know if I could take it, but you know what? We're going to do it. We're going to have some fun. But hopefully you're having a good time. Today, right now, we're just reading something Jack has shown us, which is this 9 facts, I believe, of the human body that is pretty creepy. Okay, the brain is pre-programmed on how to shut down in the event of death. It can shut down a certain way? That's interesting. Well, I guess that kind of makes sense because that's like if you get knocked out, right? If you get knocked out, that's like what it means. It's like I think it's your brain protecting you. And like, I don't know, like protecting you somehow. Okay, you probably have gotten cancer this week, but your immune system fixed it. That is true. That I know. Like, I hear that stuff gets like pops up all the time, and your immune system, like white blood cells, fight it off and eat it. But it's actually cancer if your like body's unable to do so. The pain you feel from a sunburn is your skin cells effectively killing themselves before they mutate into cancer. Whoa, that is messed up too. That's crazy. I didn't know. It's like. So it's like, if you don't feel pain, like no pain at all after a sunburn, has it successfully become cancer? Don't know. Yes, very good joke. This is basically dead cells. The brain eats itself when you don't get sleep. There's no way. I think this one's false. This is probably a lie. I feel like they're just littering in lies to see how dumb you are. You know? There's no way this is true. All right, hold on. We're Googling this. Does the brain eat itself if you don't get enough? The neurons get worn out without having the time to regenerate and rest. Aside from the physiological changes that the brain goes through with lack of sleep deprivation also have an impact on behavior, mood, cognitive performance, and function. There's no. What is SMV.org? I'd rather like read an actual article on. Okay, consequences, dude. All right, hold on. Let's. I guys. Yeah, if that was really the case, we'd all be zombies, especially me. Dude, I'm like constantly like sleep deprived. You know, like I'm talking about like I'm getting like 5 hours of sleep a day consistently or less. You know, and there's a lot of people like in you're growing up as a kid, like, you know, you pull all-nighters and shit. There's no way. We'd all be complete frothing like zombies at this point, right? Yeah, Jack Rose, you'd be a zombie. There was something with lack of sleep. They just die. Oh, the cells would die. That's kind of weird. I don't know, because the thing is, like, your brain cells, you don't make more brain cells. That I know. So I'm not sure if they would die, because like if you just keep getting lack of sleep, eventually you'll just become like like an idiot, like a moron. You know, and I want to say that's not the case, you know, just for my own sake, you know. These are all exaggerations based on personification. They're good though. Hashtag plants. Yes, we would all basically be potatoes and plants. When something were to pierce your body, if it's there for longer than 17 minutes, your body will begin to push it out. Interesting. Will attempt to push it out. Okay, that seems like plausible. At some point, our brains thought it necessary to fear things that look close to human but aren't. The uncanny valley. Yes. I am very scared of uncanny valley things. Like basically any type of animatronic. You know, like those, or you know, like when they're creating that like fake android face that tries to talk and you just know something's off, or those AI generated pictures. It looks kind of scary. I feel like that's the case. All right, Condir says your body can eat itself, including brain, from lack of nourishment. So if you are starving, you start to burn the fat, then muscle, then okay, that I believe, Condir. That makes sense. As a matter of fact, your I've heard that your body is dumb enough. Your body is too dumb sometimes, and it burns muscle first. So I forgot what the word is called, but essentially your body sometimes just burns the muscle instead, and it's like when you have ample amounts of fat, is what I'm trying to get at. Okay, connections between neurons die. They can recreate themselves. It causes some memory loss. You just forget to. See, I thought you don't create any more brain cells. I read that a while ago. Who know? I don't know if this is true or not, but I read that human beings don't ever get more brain cells. Like it's just like you lose brain cells, your brain doesn't gain new brain cells. It just learns to make new connections between neurons. Oh, you have the perfect example for the AI thing? Okay, interesting. Just send it. Okay, let's see. How many more we got? Okay, this is the final. Let's follow and like for more. Well, this was really cool, Jack Rose. I really appreciate that. Thank you. This is interesting. Okay, what is this? Chainsaw suit. Okay. All right. Something for us to read. I like this. All right. Let's read this thing, okay? Yeah, I love this. I love all these things. Okay. Here we go. Curious little thing. And excuse my my reading skills today. I'm operating off a little bit, like not too much sleep, and I don't like feel super well. So my voice is kind of disappearing on me. Okay. I have an odd habit a friend recently picked up on. A habit I developed about a year ago. He noticed that when I enter a room, any room, and shut the door, I turn my face away from it, close my... Holy fuck! Okay. Oh my god. Oh my god. Sorry. I just had a rat crawl up the stairs. Okay? So, sorry, guys, I'm gonna pause. I will see you guys in like a couple of minutes, and then we'll talk from there. Okay, sorry about that. There was no rat coming up. I was just joking, but I did get jump scared. Not a good day to get jump scared on Scary Sunday. But anyways, hey everyone, welcome. Oh wow, you guys are really spamming today. Oatmeal, thank you for joining in as well. I really appreciate it. Okay, so we're gonna start the story again. It's about some kid who has developed some kind of habit. Okay, I turned my face away from it. Oh, hi, Mog. How you doing? Sorry, before I continue this, I just want to say thank you, everyone, for supporting me, and I really appreciate it. Hopefully, you guys had a great weekend like I did. It is Spooky Sunday, and yeah. I know you guys are all from different time zones, too, so the fact that you're coming at, basically, 4 a.m. or 3 a.m., these ridiculous time zones, it means a lot. I appreciate that. Okay. I will also take a look at what you posted, Jack, after this. But the plan today is to read a couple of these stories, and then get right into Five Nights at Freddy's. Okay, so you guys can watch me piss myself at night 4. We did get to night 4. We're gonna beat night 4 and beat night 5 together. Rowan, also welcome. Yesterday was my birthday, so one of my regulars at my job brought me a pack of grape Uncrustables, knowing I love them. Oh, is that the grape PB&Js? Those are very good. I appreciate that. And happy belated birthday. Okay. Okay, from your brief description and the title of the story, I have to assume it's about discovering oneself. Okay. All right. Well, we'll figure it out what it actually is. All right, I'm going to start from the beginning. I have an odd habit a friend recently picked up on, a habit I developed about a year ago. He noticed that when I enter the room, any room, and shut the door, I turn my face away from it and close my eyes until I hear a lock click. Only after the door is fully closed, I will open them. He gave me a hard time about it until I told him where it started. I work for a water seal company in St. Paul. We produce sealant for exposed wood, decks, boats, that kind of thing. You hear about sealant being a dirty word in the Ashland Icker Falls, Ironton area. Jesus Christ, that is such a word mouthful. But not all those companies were part of the infamous Ethelor summer that wiped out the local economy in the 50s. I got sent to an industrial park outside of Icker Falls on business. I checked into this dismal hotel, the Hotel Umbra, that looked like the decor had, oh my goodness, I can't speak today. That looked like the decor hadn't been changed since 1930. The lobby wallpaper had gone from yellow decades of cigarette smoke, and everything had a fine layer of dust, including the old man behind the front desk. I hoped that the room would be in better shape. Mine was on the 4th floor. Being an old place, the hotel had a rickety cable elevator, the kind with the double sets of doors, one of those flexing metal gates, and a solid outer pair of doors. I shut the gate and latched it, and pressed the tiny black button to my floor. Just as outer elevator doors were about to close, I was startled by the face of a young woman rushing at the gap between them. She was too late. The doors shut, and after a moment, the elevator ascended. I thought nothing of it until I needed to take the elevator back down for one of my bags. I entered, pushed the button for the lobby, and pressed my tired back to the elevator wall opposite to the doors. They had nearly completely shut again when I was surprised by a woman's face moving towards the gap, staring into the elevator through a gate. Too late to place her hand in to stop the doors from closing. This time I sprang forward and held the door open button, and after a moment the doors lurched and slid open. I waited a moment. From the opening, I could see partly down the hallway. No one in sight. Still holding down the button, I slid open the metal gate and craned my head into the hallway to look down the other direction. Wait, wasn't there a lady just coming at us? I thought he was trying to open this door for a lady. Okay, so no trace of this girl, no recently shut hotel room door, no footsteps, no jingle of keys. I released the button, but did not lean back against the wall. I stood directly in front of where the gap in the door would be, in the center of the elevator. After a pause, the outer doors again began to slide shut, to provide to move towards each other until the space between them was the width of a young girl's face. Okay, that's kind of scary. This is getting scary. In that quarter second, several fingertips appeared, followed immediately by her face again, rushing from around the corner, staring at me as the doors met. I had been watching the gap where I thought she might be, so I saw her. She was about 13 years old and very plain, almost homely, with a pale complexion and neck-length dark brown hair that looked mussed or slightly dirty. I didn't have time to glance down at her visible shoulder to see what she was wearing, but from her behavior, I wondered if she was a runaway or a homeless person who had gone into the building. She had this glassy, blank expression tinged with a little desperation, some distant desire or need, a look that could easily be accompanied by the words, "Please help." The next time I passed the front desk, I asked the old man. Oh, wait, hold on. First of all, why are we jumping to the next time I passed the front desk? So what happened? Like, I would just freak the fuck out. First of all, there was no one there. If I held the door at an elevator and there was no one there, first I see a girl, and then no one was there, and then all of a sudden this girl pops out with her like fingertips opening the door and just stared at me like that. I'm not gonna just cut scene and jump to another scene like this. This is ridiculous. Now we have to get into why this happened or what happened between this. This guy's way too like nonchalant. All right. The next time I passed the front desk, I asked the old man if he'd seen a young girl running through. He's like, "I heard the stories then," he said between throat clearings, rocking gently in his seat. "Young Maddie has been here a long time. Takes a liking to gentlemen guests. Always been shy, never says a word, not a word, just curious." I told him I hadn't heard any stories and that there had been this girl taking the stairs and standing in front of the elevator on every floor. "Well, that's our Maddie," he said. "She likes you then. Sweet on you. She just wants to see after." That's all. Just to see. All she ever does. Curious little thing. Just wants to see. Okay, this voyeur. Okay. Oh, guys, sorry. We have an ad coming in 4 minutes. Maybe I can hurry this up. I'll read up on the chat in just a moment. Okay. Let me tell you about young Maddie. You only catch glimpses of her face with a resigned look of quiet desperation, dominated by a pair of wide, dark eyes. Locked doors, barricades, nothing made a difference. She gets inside. She gets inside. Okay. I never saw her longer than a half a second. Every time I laid eyes on her, she retreated instantly, only to appear again an hour or two later. An hour or two, if I was lucky. Let me tell you about where I saw young Maddie. Every time I shut the door to my bathroom, I saw her. If I watched as I shut it, at the last possible second, I'd see the crescent of her face moving fast at the gap. I'd throw the door open and find nothing. Okay, this is fucking terrifying. Every time I closed the closet door, I saw her. If I watched that gap, she'd suddenly be inside the closet, leaning her head to watch me just as it shut. It's as if she knew where to go, where to be, so that my eye would meet hers. But there'd never be an impact, never a moment when she'd make contact with the door or wall. The first time I sat at that writing table, I saw her. As I closed the large bottom drawer, she rushed at the gap from inside the drawer, her wide eyes pleading for something I could not give. I pulled the drawer from its rails and threw it on the floor. I did spend that night in my car, but like I said, it did no good. Tossing and turning on that rental car seat, the back ratcheted as flat as I could get it. I'd have to open my eyes sometimes, and if there was a place for her to dart from my view when I opened them, she did. In the side view mirror, or peeking over the hood of my car, once upside down at the top of the windshield as if she was on the roof. I'm back in St. Paul again, and I've been back for a year, but Maddie hasn't stopped. If I keep my eyes open long enough, if I watch a place long enough, I'll eventually catch sight of movement. Near the copier in my office, a large pile of boxes in the alley, a column in the quiet parking lot, and my eye will just get there just in time to see her retreating from my view. There's never anything there when I go to look. I've stopped looking. That's how I had to change things since the Hotel Umbra. I've stopped looking. I keep my eyes shut when I close doors. When I close drawers and cabinets, fridges, coolers, the trunk of my car. Not all spaces, just ones that are big enough. At least that used to work. I was getting ready for bed a few nights ago, standing in front of my bathroom mirror. Door shut, cabinet shut, watching myself floss. I opened up wide to get my molars. I swear I saw fingertips retreat down the back of my throat. First of all, this story was fucking amazing. That's a very well-written, scary story. Thank you so much for showing me the story, Jack. This was really, really nice. I'm just gonna catch up on some chat right now. Let's see. I've never had Uncrustables. First of all, Uncrustables is very good. Yes, I used to binge them as a kid, along with Kid Cuisine. That was like my two childhood favorites. But yeah, this. Oh my goodness, we have another link. Historical Russia unit measures of units of measurement. I will definitely take a look at that in a moment. But yeah, this is a pretty good story. I really appreciate you linking this. We're gonna read some SCP stuff, followed by getting right into Five Nights at Freddy's. So if you guys want, Jack Rose, yes, send me the Skinwalkers one as well. That's pretty cool. And I will get back to you guys in around, I don't know, a couple of minutes. But until then, I'm going to just take another quick break. I appreciate all the support. That's a one sentence horror story? Okay, hold on. I got to read this first. There is if you want to click the fulcrum in the sidebar, it's a one sentence horror story. Okay, one second. Oh, hold on. These are all recent stories. Scary stories. This is amazing. This is not a one sentence horror story. This is. Wait a minute. This is one sentence. I'm sorry. First of all, this is one sentence. Sorry, this is a sentence. This is just nothing but commas and fucking semicolons and shit. Never mind. This is one sentence. Very impressive. Hold on. Let's read this real quick. The fulcrum. You will either die or lose your mind if you reach the end of this sentence. So stop reading it. No. In the early 1930s, a research group of psychologists, semiotists, whatever the fuck that means, and English professors in Austria were researching the fundamentals of understanding language. It was believed, rather than a language simply being an arbitrary, albeit very complex system of mnemonics for our conceptualization of reality, that perhaps once learned and internalized, our use of language actually became embedded within the root thought processes involving in our filtration of external ordered stimuli, and thereby, holy shit, this is a very, very long-winded way of saying very simple concepts. Jesus Christ. All right. Concepts, thereby our very grasp of reality. And this team of researchers distilled what turned out to be a symbolic halt mechanism into our new kind of punctuation. Not a period or exclamation point or question mark, but a cognitive escape character they referred to as an ablation mark, or fulcrum for short. Though whether the word fulcrum betrays the visual appearance or actual textual annotation of this new punctuation really should not be dwelled upon, even though as a glyph it is fairly unremarkable. It operates differently when encountered as a component of grammar. Regardless, you should have stopped reading this sentence long ago, because at some point I've got to end it, and it won't be with a period or an exclamation point or a question mark, but with a fulcrum, and only a fulcrum, because I've used all the colons, semicolons, parentheses, and em dashes I possibly can, and yet you continue reading, making it very difficult for me to continue to make the sentence grammatically correct. Which it must be, for it is the only thing keeping me from dying or losing my mind, because I did see the fulcrum and began writing this sentence in an attempt to maintain my already faltering grasp on this world of ordered concepts and symbols tied to meaning, to stave off the deconstruction of my earliest memories of language, since it is this deconstruction upon viewing the ablation mark that it is so sudden and so severe that the victim's sensory perception actually begins briefly halts, leaving the mind locked in total isolation that cannot be described as darkness or even absence of darkness, which in turn brings about a catastrophic sympathetic response of the central nervous system, a response that I have only managed to delay with a purely grammatical correct sentence, which I cannot allow to end, and yet must end because I cannot type forever a purely grammatical correct sentence when I've used all available punctuation, including colons, semicolons, parentheses, em dashes, hyphens, save for the damned ablation mark, which if you value your life, you would not break your gaze with this single sentence immediately for a fulcrum. For the fulcrum is real and is absence of absence, and I can't go on using words like for and but and to string more clauses onto this still but not for long purely grammatically correct sentence. So God help me and have mercy on my soul. And forgive me for what I'm about to do, but I never should have opened that drawer in the office. And if I had never read the paper, I'd never seen the fulcrum, but God help me, I did. Character not supported in any ISO 88591 font. This is actually really funny because I was like, dude, you're lying to me. This is not a fucking sentence because this is like at least 4 paragraphs long. But this was a really good story. God damn. Hold on, maybe we can just read a bunch of these stories. These are really good stories. Thank you so much for linking this this site. These people have really good stories. But yes, I'm gonna BRB for just a moment. And this is perfect because we have an ad break coming up, and yeah, we'll get to Five Nights at Freddy's relatively soon, but I'll be back soonish. Okay, I'll see you guys in like 5-10 minutes. All right, BRB. Okay. Anyways, I'm gonna yes. Oh fuck. I did not. Whoops. Oh god. Okay. So I am back. Anyways. You guys saw the password and everything? God damn, dude. Help me. You guys are killing me. Alright, anyways, human can travel. Okay, if we learn to travel backwards, we will become 4D creatures. Oh god. Wow. Alright. Wait, humans can travel in time, but only one way forward. That is true. Okay, thank you, Thank you for the All right, this guy wrote Candle Cove back in 19. I don't know Candle Cove, but I'd like to read that because I really enjoy this guy's writing. If you don't mind sending me Candle Cove, I will read that. A semioticist is someone who studies the actual glyphs of language and how they are interpreted. Okay. This fucking clown forgot to change his screen. Yeah, I know. Okay, sorry. I pressed the lock button on my computer instead of changing the screen. That's embarrassing. All right. Yes, I'm embarrassed. Okay. Okay, Lemon Blossom Girl and the one that looks like a serial code that are other peak stories here. Okay, let's see. Lemon. All right. Drink some water, guys. Now to find the address of where this clown lives. All right. Let's read. Lemon Blossom. Oh my god, Lemon Blossom Girl's a long fucking story, dude. I don't know if my voice can handle it. You know what we can do? Let me see if I can right click and open in reading mode, and maybe we can have ChatGPT read this for us. Yeah? Huh? Oh my god. Hold on. Open in reading mode. Okay, right? Ready? Not only are we going to open in reading mode, okay? We're going to also have ChatGPT read this for us. Yeah? Let's see if that'll actually work today. ChatGPT. Gonna do some okay, just do the serial number one. Okay, let's do that instead. Serial number. I don't see a serial number. Oh, I see. OSD. Okay, never mind. All right, serial number is not too bad. Shit. Okay. I'm impressed. I'm actually impressed with ChatGPT's narrating skills. In all seriousness, it's not too bad for AI. It's not too bad. Okay, here we go. OSD09H03. How? What kind of foods do they have? 4 independent subroutines went into work analyzing the phrase utterly by the 4-year-old girl. Expression, context, voice recognition, tone analysis, body language. Tone analysis needed to be the fastest, and luckily, it was also the simplest. No quavering or whining detected. Had it been the other subroutines, would have been directed to stop, and control would have been given over to an array of pre-written comfort dialogues. Ooh, I think I know where this is going, which is kind of scary or kind of creepy. This is like this whole does AI truly have a soul kind of story, or you know, okay. Expression context came next. Eye contact from the child was only occasional. The image analysis package, in concert with the body language and expression routines, determined that the child, a fair-haired boy, was occupied by something below frame. The RFID scan identified it as a toy train, one of 12 toys in this room. The dialogue routine was updated with the name of the object, potentially to be used later if the child remains silent for a specified amount of time. Hey, is that a toy train you got there? Voice recognition had been dissecting the phrase all this time. Tone analysis supported the conclusion that a child had asked the question. How? Met, cards, fuds, do, something. Okay, these words, don't know what language this is, but but you guys will figure it out. Food triggered a sub-array of typical questions, and once the substrings kind of and they had been identified and routed through the context and grammar parsers, it was a simple matter to locate the most likely question being asked. The response set, indexed by question, was assessed and syllabically, yeah, man, my English is terrible, syllabically divided for the vocal synthesis package, then pouring over a hash table of pre-identified lingual structures of the child's father. The synthesizer generated an audio file by conflating the two data streams. The file, just so, okay, guys, this is pretty cool and all. They are adding a lot of like programming terms to make it sound authentic, but like what they're really stating is very simple. Like it's basically how like we're modeling ChatGPT like nowadays. Anyways, okay, the file is equalized into to conclude a bassy sub audio component at 180 hertz, creating a comforting, warm in-room effect that mimics the tone heard by a child with their head upon the father's chest. Meanwhile, a 1280 by 700 image of the father, taken years ago when he was first deployed, is overlaid into a digital model from the neck up only. Originally, the Department of Defense had planned to include hands so the model could gesture, but this was abandoned early due to the over-complexity. The resulting hybrid passes through a series of basic lingual configurations, augmented with syllable stress-driven head movements, and converted into a number of keyframes. These individual frames can be presented directly on the viewing screen, synchronized to the audio file. A series of static simulating filters created webcam believability and reduced Morian uncanny valley effects, which children have been shown to be particularly sensitive to. Once it was understood that they want to believe, the goal became to give them less visual fidelity, not more. Holy shit, this is like psychologically sound. Like, I actually believe this. This is cool. They give us all kinds of foods here to keep us healthy. Lots of things, like vegetables, steak, chicken, even some of your favorites, like pizza. You like pizza, huh, buddy? Right? The microphone registers no audio response, but expression context identifies upturned corners of the mouth and squinting eyes. I miss you, Daddy. A timer preset with a value of 5 minutes plus or minus anywhere from 0 to 30 seconds reaches 0. A half a dozen randomly selected dialogue trees are deallocated from memory. I miss you too, Josh. I'm coming home real soon, okay? Daddy has to go now. Be a good boy, okay? I love you. I love you. Somewhere in the room, a hard drive whirs. This was written in 2014. Well before ChatGPT was a thing. And who wrote this? I just want to know who wrote this. Like, is this all by one person? I just, like, I'd like to read more of, like, a single author. Like, this is so good. Like, this is well before ChatGPT. And, this kind of like outlines what we're doing now. Like if you go on Twitch, like right now we have some fun things on Twitch where if you guys saw, it was like Biden versus Trump. It's basically this, okay? Like they have a ChatGPT, like a modified version of ChatGPT creating prompts to insult each other. And that's fed into like a visual component where they would have like Trump AI or Biden AI, just doing like basic movements, kind of like what the father is doing without the hands, and then they have a voice, they a voice portion of it too, which is obviously trained very, very well. But like the hardest thing is to understand when emphasis occurs, right? Like even as a human being, like this just comes with a you can say that this comes with like time, right? Or intuition. But like the funny thing is, if you've ever watched, and you should totally watch this. It's on Netflix. It's called AlphaGo. Like for the longest time, Go was this like Asian chess game that it was only about intuition. Like there are like more combinations and strategies than there are stars in the sky. Like I remember like when they were actually trying to calculate this, you can't brute force it like in chess. You know, there's only a set amount of moves you can do. There are like trillions upon trillions of moves. Like I don't know the actual number. So it's just not something you can memorize in terms of like here's like this opening move, or here's this. You instead memorize things by like intuition. Certain feelings will get you like, you know, a victory. And they thought you just could not develop like a robot that could to work off of intuition. Yet they did. They like when they had AlphaGo created to fight the #1 Go player in the world, that Go player was like, yeah, I'm gonna beat this fucking clown robot 3-0. And then it came out, he barely even won one game. He was happy to have even won one match at the end of it. Sorry for kind of spoiling it, but it's a very good show. This was like the introduction to how, you know, we were developing some of our like AI now. It's beautiful stuff. So if you have the chance, take a look at it. It's kind of like on the same like topic as we're talking about now. I'm going to just catch up on some of the chat. Sorry. Let's see. Kai, give us the specs of your PC. We need to know if it will be worth the effort of coming to... Dude, my PC just goes black randomly. This happens on stream. It is not worth it. I'm running a piece of shit. I'm the only reason I'm considering doing an OnlyFans is just so I can get a better PC to stream for you guys. Okay. If it is worth it, we will install a new innovative system of heating. You'll save money, bro. We also live in your walls. Yes. Oatmeal, you were here for that. We're watching some cool things from Condir, those scary things that did live in your walls. I still remember that. Okay, this guy wrote it. Chris Straub. Okay, here we go. Iker Falls. Let's take a look at that. Is this another thing? Okay. Here's the transcript, but it is missing a real classic form layout. Okay. I will read this, and after this, let's get right into Five Nights at Freddy's. I think you guys really enjoy yourselves. All right, hold on. Let's take a look at this. Net Nostalgia Forum Television Local. Okay, so oh my goodness. So this seems like a collection of like an email chain between two users, Skies Hale 033 and Mike Painter, okay, and Jaren, or 3 people. All right, here we go. Skies Hale 033, subject Candle Cove, local kids show. Does anyone remember this kids show? It was called Candle Cove, and I must have been 6 or 7. I never found reference to it anywhere, so I think it was on a local station around 1971 or 1972. I lived in Ironton at the time. I don't remember which station, but I do remember it was on at a weird time, like 4 p.m. Mike Painter 65, subject or the replying to the Candle Club. I'm just gonna okay. I'm not gonna say the subject anymore. Mike Painter. It seems really familiar to me. I grew up outside of Ashland and was 9 years old in 72. Candle Cove. Was it about pirates? I remember a pirate marionette at the mouth of a cave talking to a little girl. Sky Hale. Yes, Okay, I'm not crazy. I remember Pirate Percy. I was always kind of scared of him. He looked like he was built from parts of other dolls. Real low budget. His head was an old porcelain baby doll, looked like an antique that didn't belong on the body. I don't remember what station this was. I don't think it was. I don't think it was WTSF though. All right, Jaren 2005. Sorry to resurrect this old thread, but I know exactly what show you mean, Skies Hail. I think Candle Cove ran for only a couple of months in 1971, not 72. I was 12 and I watched it a few times with my brother. It was channel 58, whatever station that was. My mom would let me switch to it after the news. Let me see what I can remember. It took place in Candle Cove, and it was about a little girl who imagined herself to be friends with pirates. The pirate ship was called the Laughingstock, and Pirate Percy wasn't a very good pirate because he got scared too easily. And there was Calliope music constantly playing. What is Calliope? Let me just look this up. I'm not going to be able to sleep if I don't figure it out. Calliope. It's Greek mythology. Calliope is a muse who presided over eloquence and epic poetry. Okay, Calliope music is a North American musical instrument that produces a sound by sending gas. So like, oh, it's this thing. Dude, that's a Calliope. My work husband, this is completely unrelated. Sorry. My work husband and I, when I first met him, this motherfucker was joking, and we were like telling each other what instruments we were playing. This guy responds with, he wants to learn how to play a Calliope. Okay. So this is like that classic kind of like those Disney cartoons music and stuff. But anyway, sorry, I'm back. Okay, now we know what this Calliope music sounds like. Let's give some context, okay? And there's Calliope music constantly playing. Don't remember the girl's name, Janice or Jade or something. I think it was Janice. All right, Sky Hail. Thank you, Jaren. Memories flooded back when you mentioned the Laughingstock in Channel 58. I remember the bow of the ship was a wooden smiling face with the lower jaw submerged. It looked like it was swallowing the sea, and it had that awful Ed Wynn voice and laugh. I especially remember how jarring it was when they switched to the wooden plastic model, to the foam puppet version of the head that talked. Okay, Mike Painter. Haha. Okay, haha. I remember now too. Do you remember this part, Sky Hill? You have to go inside. Okay, Sky Hill. Ugh, Mike. I got a chill reading that. Yes, I remember. That's what the ship always told Percy when there was a spooky place he had to go in, like a cave or a dark room where the treasure was. And the camera would push in on Laughingstock's face with each pause. You have to go inside. With his two eyes askew in that flopping foam jaw in the fishing line that opened and closed it. Ugh. It just looked so cheap and awful. You guys remember the villain? He had a face that was just a handlebar mustache above really tall, narrow teeth. All right, Kevin Hart. I honestly thought the villain was Pirate Percy. I was about 5 when the show was on. Nightmare Fuel. Jaren 2005. That wasn't the villain. The puppet with a mustache. That was the villain's sidekick, Horace Horrible. He had a monocle too, but it was on top of his mustache. I used to think that meant he had only one eye. But yeah, the villain was another marionette, the Skin Taker. Can't believe what they let us watch back then. Kevin Hart. Jesus H. Christ, the Skin Taker. What kind of kids show were we watching? I seriously could not look at the screen when the Skin Taker showed up. He just descended out of nowhere on his strings, just his dirty skeleton wearing that brown top hat and cape, and his glass eyes that were too big for his skull. Christ almighty. Skies Hail 003. Wasn't his top hat and cloak all sewn up crazily? Was that supposed to be like a children's skin? Okay, Mike Painter. Yeah, I think so. Remember his mouth didn't open and close? His jaw just slid back and forth? I remember the little girl said, "Why does your mouth move like that?" And the skin taker didn't look at the girl, but at the camera and said, "To grind your skin." Skyhale, I'm so relieved that other people remember this terrible show. I used to have this awful memory, a bad dream I had where the opening jingle ended. The show faded in from black and all the characters were there, but the camera was just cutting to each of their faces. And they were just screaming. And the puppets and marionettes were flailing spastically and just all screaming. Screaming. The girl was just moaning and crying like she had been through hours of this. I woke up so many times from that nightmare. I used to wet the bed when I had it. Right. Kevin Hart, I don't think that was a dream. I remember that. I remember that episode. Skyhale, no, that can't be possible. There's no plot or anything. I mean, literally, I was just standing there in place, crying and screaming for the whole show. Kevin Hart, maybe I'm manufacturing the memory because you just said that. But I swear to God, I'm remembering seeing what you described. They just screamed. Jerry in 2005. Oh God, yes, the little girl Janice. I remember seeing her shake and the skin taker screaming through his gnashing teeth. His jaw careening so wildly, I thought it would come off the wire hinges. I took it off, and it was the last time I watched. I ran to tell my brother, and we didn't have the courage to turn it back on. Mike Painter. I visited my mom today at the nursing home. I asked her about when I was little in the early 70s, when I was 8 or 7, and if she remembered a kids show, Candle Cove. She said she was surprised I could remember that, and I asked why. She said, because I used to think it was so strange that you said, I'm going to go watch Candle Cove now, Mom, and then you would tune the TV to static and just watch dead air for 30 minutes. You had a big imagination for your little pirate show. Holy fuck. Oh my God, this was one of the most This is what I'm looking for. This is really goddamn scary. Oh, Bill, I love how of all this shit, you're just like, ha ha, he wets the bed. This is peak creepypasta. I love this. Thank you so much for. But this he didn't just imagine this, Condier, because you have multiple people reaffirming this, confirming this on through email. This guy's on a forum. Like, remember the thing Condier showed us like a while ago? Yeah, he has multiple sources. Everybody's all confirming this. They can't all imagine the same thing. That's crazy, right? But anyways, this is really spooky. I mean, I really like these little snippets. Like this is something that you could really build a world in. I mean, if we were to play D&D or something, I feel like this would be a great, like, these would be great, like, starter stories to create some sort of world. Especially this one. You know? The one before was, I don't know, I forgot the name of it, but it was like a Tom Cruise movie where he and this girl would constantly be like mining water and like, you know, for these people in space, and he'd only see them through like this television screen. I forgot the name of it, but essentially like he would kill these monsters, and they end up finding out that they're human beings. But then they realize that like the people in space, they're not even human. They're just like this AI using humans to, like, you know, make these two power couples work. Anyways, there was a Tom Cruise movie. This was a hold on one second. This reminds me of something when I was a kid. It was called Courage the Cowardly Dog. I don't know if you guys ever seen Courage the Cowardly Dog, but that show was damn scary to me. And I remember having absolute nightmares watching that. And no, guys, do not be like, what? You were just watching static. What the hell is Courage the Cowardly Dog? But yeah, that was like the doctor, the dentist, that was damn scary. Courage, like just him having to solve all the problems for the old lady and the old man. Dude, I was scared. Like, I was very scared as a kid. So yes. Anyways, okay. I really don't guys, how about let's do Five Nights at Freddy's some other time? You know, I'm fucking scared, man. I don't want to do it. I don't know if my heart can do it. Do you want to just read stories tonight? You want to have this scary Sunday? This scary Sunday just be stories today? Or do you guys don't mind if I actually just read stories today? And watch some stuff? You have a video? Okay, let's take a look at this video. And everyone, I hope you guys are having a great time.
Cheap protein powder? Well, here to tell us is all natural fit.
Oh, great. As soon as I say, like, I don't want to do Five Nights at Freddy because I'm too scared, you basically send me top 10 scary and disturbing Five Nights at Freddy's VHS tapes. Yeah. F.U. Kai, right? Christ. It's like you read my mind, Oatmeal. All right. Oh, this was a crazy pick a lane lame ass title. All right, let's before we watch this, would you guys mind? Okay, if you don't want to play, you're gonna watch it. All right, fine. Let's watch this together. I'm sort of in the mood to read a couple more of these stories, if you don't mind. I just need to catch my breath. Reading, for me, takes a lot of effort because I suck at reading. Okay. But these stories are effing awesome. Like 10 out of 10. Like, I like SCP, but these are where it's at. These are so good. Okay, let's watch. All right, let's read a couple more. Anyways, guys, I hope you're all having a wonderful Sunday. Scary Sunday, that is. If you guys like how scary this is, awesome. If not, we can try to do some scary stuff. Oh, same guy. Local 58 TV. Hey, this is all in the same context. Are we gonna actually see the pirate show on here do on the grass? Okay, let's take a look at it. All right, we will take a look at the top 10 most scary, disturbing Five Nights at Freddy tapes. Okay, well, let's go down the list first. Okay, I will do this. It is a bit of a longer one, so I will do this, but a little bit later. But for now, I'm gonna read a couple more of these stories because let me tell you, these stories are so well written and so interesting. Like, and what's so nice about it is, like, it was written in, like, way before ChatGPT. Like, this is good writing, and I really appreciate, like, the writing here. Like, I really, really appreciate the writing here. And I wish, yeah, this is so nice. Thank you so much for sending me this stuff. All right, let's read Lemon Blossom Girl. I'll read this one, unless you guys have something else. Let's read that. Or let me see what other short things we can read. Okay, this one's actually pretty short. The Hirsch Camera, 1870. A real object that has made its way into Iker Falls folklore is the Hirsch Camera. On seasonal display at the Tiny Rand Historical Society Museum near the town center. Its innovator, chemist Robert Hirsch, can claim ancestry back to the original 82 settlers of Iker Falls. He remarked in letters to colleagues that the town resided in a wonderland of alchemical potential. I believe there is no more diverse geology west of the Alleghenies. Alleghenies? Don't know what that is. Or just someplace. The Hirsch camera is possibly the earliest functioning camera that was capable of color photography, predating Du Heron's color photographs by 2 years. However, in photographic circles at this point, um, is in content. Oh wait. However, in photographic circles, this point is in contention. Most scholars argue that Hirsch's work does not represent the first concerted effort at color photography. In many of his trial attempts from the 1870s show either a lack of interest or perhaps understanding in accurately reproducing color images. These early developed plates show washed out or partially inverted colors as though from a semi-exposed negative. Hirsch's process, however, is notable for its methodology. Jesus, methodology. Rather than silver iodide, Hirsch used silver chalcides, to create one of the first panchromatic solutions. This also reduced the plate's dependence on mercury bath to develop the negative. Some chemical studies have been performed on the plates, but Hirsch's original ratios have been lost to time. Thus, the plates themselves are somewhat of a mystery. Hirsch himself took 103 photographs, but only personally developed 12. The other 91 were developed in 1997, not using Hirsch's technique, but modern image processing. These are not usually on display to the public. The 12 images appear to be candid photographs of people in and around Eicher Falls. 3 of them show the apparent christening of the building. Several more show the town square or natural environments with people present, usually moving into or out of the frame. The last image is that of a young fair-haired girl who is not looking at the camera. When cross-referenced with dated newspaper articles from the Eicher Falls Gazette, public record, paintings, and even other existing photography, the Hirsch plates were found to be inexplicably wrong. Okay. The building in the christening photograph does not exist, and several shops were on the wrong side of the street, or the wrong street entirely. One photograph shows townspeople at a nearby quarry, apparently walking blindly into a ravine. This was believed to be an overexposure of 2 or more plates, but a man towards the bottom of the frame appears to have fallen. Closer inspection of a forest scene shows all visible tree branches as terminating in human hands. What? Okay. Another plate inexplicably shows the bustling town center, but all of the people there are either crawling or blurred in mid-gallop on all fours. In another, a man walks to the right on what looks like 4th Avenue, his head completely obscured by an irregular hanging sign or object blurred in the foreground. When viewed at an acute angle, it appears that this oblong object actually is a white, grossly distorted head with the blur not caused by focus issues, but a violent shivering movement as the shutter closed. Hirsch's chalcide technique also captured a quality that is not reproducible by modern film photography. There's a translucency, a confusion of line and image in the Hirsch plates that implies depth or, in some cases, motion, even though these flat plates possess no lenticular properties. One photograph on display in the Rand, the one of this young girl, is mounted off the wall, so visitors may view it from different angles. As the viewer walks slowly from side to side, the girl appears entirely motionless except for her lips. This illusion is not a true capturing of actual movement, but likely a result of poor mixing of multiple exposures. Still, most agree that it appears that she is mouthing the word out. In 1872, Robert Hirsch left Eicher Falls and moved west. Camera and Hirsch's 12 plates are on display seasonally at the Rand Historical Society Museum at Main and 2nd. Okay, this is very weird. Okay, I will take a look at Lightbulb, but like, guys, this is like a demonic. This is like, hear me out. What if this picture or this camera is actually capturing like a demon reality and just not this one? It's kind of, think of like Constantine. If you've ever seen Constantine, the movie where there's like angels and demons fighting in this world, just us humans, we can't see it. What if this camera it's like taking it actually shows those pictures. So welcome to Iker Falls. Allegheny. Thank you, Do. Allegheny. That's how Allegheny. Okay. Hold on. I will take a look at this SCP stuff too later. But yeah, this is, guys, thank you so much for sticking around. This is good shit. Lemon Blossom Girl. We read the first camera. Oh my god. This is welcome to Iker. Lightbulb. Here we go. Where is Lightbulb? Oh, these are just recent, quote unquote, recent stories. What if they have light? Oh, Lightbulb. You guys just want to make me lose my voice from all this reading, right? Lightbulb. I don't turn the light on in the bathroom anymore. It's a General Electric white, 40 watts. They come in packages of 2 or 4. I don't remember when I put that one in, but I must have been the one that put it in there, because I remember removing its fixture on the ceiling and losing one of the screws. The socket is rated for 100 watts, but 40 must have been all I had at the time. With the cover off, the light is pale and dull, and a little cold, like a desk lamp in the office. The light is cold even if the bulb isn't. The fixture is low enough that I can stand under it and feel the heat radiating beneath. But with the cream-colored fixture back in place, it's more than that. It changes the character of the light it casts to an ambient, hazy light, almost directionless, permeating the air, reaching all the way to the bedroom carpet and reflecting, but not harshly, never harshly, off the bathroom tile. There's an ethereal quality that it lends to a person, standing in front of the mirror there, a translucency of the skin that makes them seem to glow, like a close-up of the 1960s starlet shot through a gauzy filter. Like a scene from an old movie. I remember it vividly because that's how she looked, that light folded around her when she was here. I'm considering a GE Reveal 100 watt or a low power halogen 12 volt. This is a lot of information. Okay. Crammed in a little, like just a few sentences. Everything has changed. Wow. This one was pretty interesting. Okay, so. Oh. Taco Bell. I know, now I'm pretty hungry for some Taco Bell. Okay. All right. I'm going to say I told you guys about, like, this is very similar to one of my what's it called again? Lucid dreams. My lucid dreams, I had like one reoccurring lucid dream that was pretty scary as a kid. And like one of the lucid dreams was the same color schema as what we're talking about here. I do lucid dream. I did lucid dream as I was like younger, when I was like in my what do you call it? Like 70s, 70s, Jesus Christ. I used to lucid dream when I was like in high school the most. I don't know why. I've stopped lucid dreaming. No, I no longer lucid dream on command. Like I used to be able to lucid dream on command. Now I have to be like this. There is a method. Like the way I feel like I can lucid dream is, one, I have to be very tired, and two, when I'm falling asleep, I need to pull myself awake. Like there's like this trick. As you feel yourself drifting into like the ether or like the void, just hold on and try to push yourself awake. I think after a few times, you're like able to like go into your dream while still being like awake. So it's like lucid dreaming. That was my method to lucid dream that I did back when I was a kid. So yes, you can train yourself to lucid dream, and sometimes I end up in this realm as a kid, where I was at a childhood home, and I was stuck in there with this light fixture, same coloring of everything, like this translucency, this weird, never, like everything was dull, this color. And it was just me. Like it felt like no one else was here on this earth. It was just me by myself in this 3-story apartment building, except the windows were open, and I could see like air like blowing in through the windows, and I just knew that there was some kind of monster getting ready to walk through those doors to come like attack me, and there was no way out. Like the only way to get out of this dream is to essentially jump out the window, like offing yourself. That was like basically the only way to get out of that lucid dream. Occasionally I would get that as a kid, but this just reminds me of that because of that whole like color schema of that light fixture, because everything in that dream was like that color, and it was always the same dream, it was just crazy. Oatmeal, you should be careful, because I said this in a previous Scary Sunday, that if you train yourself to lucid dream too much, eventually you will do something called you might get a night terror, not a nightmare. A night terror is a nightmare, but in your lucid dream, except you can't get out, and you will still feel the same level of pain, and you'll have the same level of consciousness. It's some people's, like I read a lot of forums and stuff, because as a kid I really wanted to train lucid dreaming. It's just like, why not? It's like a Doctor Strange moment, right? Like why not be able to operate while you're sleeping too? Like I could get so much done. I could start like thinking about homework or how to solve problems in my dreams, and instead of wasting time, right? So but some people who were actually doing this at the time, they said no, you cannot get out, Oatmeal. That's the whole problem. And yes, I've had some really bad sleep paralysis demons too, like we talked about in one of the previous streams. But like these people ended up getting night terrors. Like if you do this too much, you will get a night terror, and a night terror is infinitely more scary than a nightmare. Like you will feel the pain, they say. Like it's not like you don't feel the pain. Like kind of a nightmare, sometimes when you feel pain in a nightmare, you kind of feel pain, but you can kind of pull yourself awake. You cannot pull yourself awake. You cannot come out of this dream, which is the scary part. And you will have something scary. Like, man, I love it. You're like, don't care. I ain't a bitch. Yeah, you will be. Your brain knows what you are scared of. That's the scary thing. Your brain knows how to make you scared. So you keep playing with fire, okay? Don't say Kai didn't warn you, because Kai is telling you right now, don't do it. Chad Meal Cookie. This guy's Sigma Chad. All right. Okay, we're gonna continue reading some of this stuff. I honestly don't think I have it in me to play Five Nights at Freddy's today. I am too fucking scared. Okay, I want to be able to go to sleep tonight. It's already 10. All right. I think I might cut. I'm losing my voice today, so I would like to just do some like casual things. Let's read more stuff. Let's watch something. But next time, I promise, I'll start a little earlier, and I'll play Five Nights at Freddy. Okay? All right. Which one do you? If I'm gonna read another one, okay, it's gonna be Stillwood King. It's a bit of a longer one. All right. Everybody, drink your water. All right. Stillwood King. In 1806, a settler, Elijah Brown, became lost for 2 days in what would later be named the Stillwood Forest, a deceptively small wooded area southwest of Iker Falls proper. When he returned to town, Brown was gaunt, dehydrated, and starving to the point of near death. and insisted that he was lost for not for 2 days, but 9. He also had carefully kept journal entries with the rise and set of the sun, and indeed he had made 9 of them. Exhaustion and confusion clearly played a factor in augmenting Brown's story. And of course, after a hard winter, there's no record of how dehydrated and starved Brown may be before getting lost. Later expeditions into the Stillwoods showed that the forest floor is incredibly thick with vegetation, with tall, rail-thin trees making most passage exceedingly difficult. Add to this 3 similarly curving creeks. Wow, that's tough to say. 3 similarly curving creeks and streams flowing off of the Erythia. I don't know what that is. The natural sound dampening of the trees and foliage sometimes so thick that it blocks the sky. And you have a recipe for losing one's way quite easily. However, the Stillwood still carries the stigma of being invisibly endless. The legend of the Stillwood King started, interestingly enough, almost immediately after Brown's return. Contrary to popular belief, it was not Brown's story that evolved him into the spooky figure of legend as time passed, but his experience probably did inspire it. Historians believed either teachers at a schoolhouse bordering the Stillwood or parents of the attending children cooked up a legend to keep kids from wandering into the dangerous woods and getting lost. The legend says that Brown was not the first person to get lost in the Stillwood, but another man entered its wooded labyrinth hundreds of years before. Time doesn't work in the Stillwood the same it does outside of it. And the longer you're trapped, the longer. Even if you've only been gone a few days in the real world. That first victim became a permanent part of Stillwood. He had never found his way back home and should have starved to death, but the Stillwood wouldn't let the king die, or its king die. So it slowed his heart to a crawl along with the rest of him. They say it beats once per day, and that he can't move more than a foot in an hour. When he's alone, his clothes are ragged and torn, and he looks more like a bone-white cadaver than a man. He screams and cries for help, but no one outside can hear him. And over the centuries, his screams have become silent. And as he stalks among the dead leaves in exhaustion, praying for death to come, the Stillwood becomes a little more a part of him. His blood is creek water and moss, and his skin is the color of the mushroom caps. They say if you ever find yourself in the Stillwood, you have to be careful where you look. You see, the fact that no one sees him is what disconnected the Stillwood King from the normal passage of time. He is as slow and silent as the Stillwood itself, that is, until your eyes fall upon him. You may catch a silver of white through the strands of trees, thinking it to be a crop of mushrooms growing up on the side of an old oak. But if it is the king, you'll see that white shape spin around instantly, revealing 2 sunken black eyes and a saw-edged mouth locked in a scream. Now you will hear him, and now he will be quick and loud, and all the things can't be when no one else is there. He's been waiting for this for a long time. And while you're looking at him, he'll move with all the pent-up time the Stillwood has stolen from him, has saved for him, and he will be upon you almost faster than you can blink. Almost, the legend says. So if you see what looks like a crop of mushrooms as tall as a man in the distance, don't stop to think. Don't run. Do nothing except shut your eyes. The Stillwood King already knows you're there, and the forest is no obstacle to him. Past. He may now be only inches from you, but if you shut your eyes in time, that's where he'll stay. Turn completely around with your eyes still shut tight and pray that he wasn't fast enough to run behind you in that blink. Now, feel your way through the forest, around the thin, close, brittle trees, and over the dead leaves, which will seem oddly quiet, in case he has positioned himself for you to come to him change direction just once. Don't open your eyes until you've gone at least the same distance as the king was from you when you first saw him. With luck, you'll leave him trapped again, his heart beating once a day, his movement only a foot an hour. But with your eyes closed shut, you slowly press against a wet, shambling thing that smells like moss and creek water and feels like mushroom caps. Open your eyes. It'll be quick. Oh my god, this is... Oh my god, this is fucking great. This is such a good story. I fucking love these stories. I just want to know who wrote these. So I just want to follow these people. Like, where are they now? Who wrote these things? Like, I don't know, but yes, these are amazing stories. Oh, guys, there's an ad starting soon. Okay. Oh my god, I realized you haven't. Wait for the. But yes. Okay. I think I might call it early today, just because I'm sort of losing my voice, and unfortunately, it was a little later. We started just a little later than I normally started, but next Sunday, I do promise we're going to play Five Nights at Freddy's. Okay. Oh, I will. You know what? We'll watch some of this. Okay, let's watch like 10 minutes of this or 20 minutes of this oatmeal, and we'll continue. Let's just see if I hope. Let's watch a little bit of this, just because I promised I would.
Well, hello. This documentation is case 1987. Today's task is a paranormal investigation at Freddy Fazbear's part of the Fazbear Entertainment Group. There has been multiple records by various staff members and customers that felt strangely unnerved and threatened within the presence of the 4-stage animatronics, which seemed to be...
Oh, fuck no!
They could have made them at least look...
Dude, what is this? This duck? The duck looks so different here. The duck is... This is not a cute duck. First of all, this duck just looks like a homeless man with a beak. Okay? There's no way. I'm no. No, okay. I'll just watch like 5 more minutes of this.
That one, though. Anyways, some people even claim to have saw movement and hearing childlike noises coming out of these machines. Normal, the company seems to ignore this. But after recent incidents where a guest was injured during one of the stage performances, they hired me and want me to make sure that there is nothing wrong with them. Alright, that seems to be it. I'm going to build up my setup, then when I get onto the actual investigation, I'll be back in a second. Welcome back.
Oh my god, I just want to say, I hate... They're doing this on purpose, okay? They're doing this thing where, like, the camera looks away and comes back, and then looks away and comes back, just like in Five Nights at Freddy's, where you're checking every single camera. They're playing on that same fear that they create in the game. I hate it, and I hate it because on multiple levels, these animatronics are way scarier. Oh my god! Stop talking about scary. If you didn't see the bonus animatronics, oh my god, dude, I don't play or watch scary things. Okay, I don't know what I was thinking about creating Scary Sundays. All right.
Everything is set up and visible on camera. So let's begin with turning the EMF reader and the temperature meter on. So the room temperature is settled at -5.
This is like a combination between Phasmophobia and Five Nights at Freddy's.
This recording, it's the middle of summer. This isn't a cooling room and also doesn't seem to have any air conditioning either. So in conclusion, this could already be an indicator that there might be an entity present here. I'll write this down real quick.
Right, there's actually a background story. A background story. I think
next up, let's see if they react.
The reason why these animatronics are like trying to kill people is because it has the soul of the kid who was murdered trapped inside.
React them one by one. Let's start.
What the fuck is this guy? This animatronic doesn't even have a face.
Good. So far, nothing.
These animatronics are way too humanoid looking.
Seems to be in the clear.
Don't give me the double smiley face. This is terrifying. Oh my god, what is this? This is what we send to war. If the US ever goes to war with another country, we should be sending these goddamn animatronics. Like Boston Dynamics, we're gonna be developing like these things to go fight on the front lines for us. Dude, especially the duck.
Have a reaction either. Okay. Now the chicken.
Oh fuck, dude. Chica the duck. Look at this. Yeah, I'm not ready for Five Nights at Freddy's Jr. No, I'm not ready for any of this stuff.
Well, still nothing. And last but not least, the fox.
The fox is tolerable. You know. Oh shit.
Okay.
Okay, I will say the guy's reaction shouldn't have been so casual. Like, okay.
With things like this on a daily basis, like this is my job, after all.
This dude does not fear death at all.
Okay, I just finished noting the last test results. Let's begin with the audio test. I prepared 3 audio tracks for today. These tracks were composed by paranormal experts to specifically attract ghosts and spirits. I'll start playing them now and see if there's any reaction. Starting track 1.
Would you guys be this lax in this room? I don't think I would be. Like, I think I would need these things tied to one of those, like, one tied to a chair in the straitjacket, and there'd need to be, like, one of those glass walls between me and them. You know? This is messed up.
They all seem pretty lifeless to me. So let's go on with track 2.
Yeah, let's do like something like Funny Fridays where we watch funny stuff. You know, we gotta counterbalance the scary shit. It can't just be scary. Dude, I'm gonna die one day from all this scary stuff. Like, lace in some funny things for me. Yes, I need a selfie with this thing. Yeah. I hope you're talking about the Spider-Man and not the duck.
Track 3.
You guys are crazy. What do you mean? You guys are crazy for not thinking this is scary, Condier. You know, you too, Oatmeal. I didn't see anything. I'm gonna skip it. Don't make me go back. I didn't see anything. Whoops. Oh.
Okay. Sudden movement and lights flickering. I guess I could also mention a loud noise coming from the machine. But they are probably just old and need some oiling.
Dude, this guy does not know how to troubleshoot for shit. This is not... They need oil. It's like... This dude, what he just said was like... It's like if someone fucking shot me with, like, a gun, and I went to go reload his fucking gun for him. Just like these animatronics, the last thing they need is more oil.
Last thing I'm gonna do
like grease to do what they're gonna do. They're about to eat us.
Today, trying to make direct vocal contact through the spirit box. Hello, is there anyone in this room with me? I'm not here to harm you. I just want to talk and ask a few questions. If you can hear me, please make yourself known. Hello? If you can hear me, please make yourself known. Hello? Hello? Anything you want to tell me, maybe? Really? Nobody is in here? Okay, that's it. So sadly, I couldn't establish a direct contact with the spirit. Okay, well, I guess I'll pack things up and go on home. Tomorrow I'll bring the results to Mr. Afton. Hello? What are you? Can you... Mr. Afton? I only work for him. Are you the entity haunting this place? Answer my questions, and I'll answer yours, okay?
This guy, dude. This guy is way too fucking ballsy. Dude, if someone had a loaded gun to my head, I don't think I'd be saying, you answer my questions and then I'll answer yours. This dude's about to get fucking banged by 6 animatronics at the same time. And he's talking super casually like he's getting out of this alive. And matter of fact, he's making demands. This is unbelievable. Like, this guy's crazy. Also, how does he understand what, like, this isn't Pokemon, right? How is he understanding any of these animatronics? They don't make any sense. They're just mumbling.
Maybe help you. Can you tell me what you want? I don't think so.
Dude, he actually understands them. These guys are speaking in, like, Latin or something. This dude clearly understands what they're saying. Do you guys understand what they're saying? Because I have no idea what they're talking about.
No.
Oh, fuck. Alright, that's good. We're good. We're good, guys. We're good. I think I can't handle it. This is a good time to end the stream right here. This is too much for my heart to take. Okay, thank you so much, Oatmeal. This was fucked up. All right. This is good. I like it. We're going to do more of this next week. 100%. But yes, I think for next week, what I'm going to do is I will start much earlier, maybe like 6 or 5 p.m. EST. And we're going to actually get some Five Nights at Freddy's going on. I really want to get like 2 of those nights done, night 4 and night 5. But for me, it's just like absolutely terrifying. I last time I played night 3, I legit didn't fall asleep. I think I told you guys, I made sure to look at every door as I was closing it and lock the door after I closed it. Okay? Lights were on before I closed the door and only off when I finished using something inside. Like if I went to the bathroom, the outside door was, the outside lock, light was on. And after that, once I was done using the bathroom and then I come out, then and only then do I turn off that light. Okay? I was damn scared, and then I had a nightmare that I was trying to open and close fucking doors against Foxy. Okay. But anyways, guys, I'm going to be getting ready to close the stream. I really appreciate what you guys stopping by and supporting me. So thank you very much, especially like like during these odd and end hours, because like Rowan, for example, like you or Condir, you guys live basically in Europe, right? And Oatmeal, you guys too. It's just like this is like 4 a.m., 5 a.m. Seema, you know, everybody here, you guys like Seema's in Russia, you know. So, I really appreciate that. What do you mean? Wow, I act like a yeah. It's But yes, this is scary stuff. I really appreciate it. Let's continue reading more and more scary stories. I will definitely continue watching this top 10 scary stuff next week, and then we'll go into some Five Nights at Freddy's. But I really appreciate you guys stopping by just again one more time, and I hope you guys have a great, wonderful week if I don't see you. But I will most likely be streaming tomorrow at, you know, sometime anywhere between 8 or 9 p.m. EST. I'm trying to be more consistent with my, you know, my schedule, but it's always up in the air. But we definitely know one thing's for sure: I will be always streaming on Wednesdays, Sundays. So there's that. But anyways, yes, take care, everyone. I hope you have a great rest of your night. I love you all, okay? And I will see you soon, all right? See you tomorrow. All right, bye-bye.